Hello and welcome to True Crime Cases. Today, I'm excited to share another chilling story with you. Our focus is on Gretchen Anthony, born on January 8, 1969, in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. She resided in the affluent town of Jupiter, Florida, alongside her husband, David Anthony, and her 12-year-old daughter from a previous marriage. Originally hailing from Pennsylvania, Gretchen's journey led her to New Jersey before settling in Florida. Despite her family being scattered across distances, her friendships became her pillars of support. One close friend fondly recalls Gretchen's warm-hearted nature, describing her as a beacon of kindness who exudes compassion. As we delve into Gretchen's past, her presence shines brightly, leaving an indelible mark on those who knew her, even in her earlier days in New Jersey. Having spent years as an educator, Gretchen transitioned to managing a fitness club upon relocating to Florida. Eventually, she secured a lucrative position, viewing her colleagues as an extended family. Outside of work, her primary focus was on her cherished daughter, whom she considered her greatest achievement. Gretchen immersed herself in motherhood, fostering her daughter's interests through reading and sporting activities. With a deep passion for sports and nutrition, she prioritized her well-being and appearance. Fate intervened at the fitness club where Gretchen crossed paths with her future husband, David Anthony, marking the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Employed as a personal trainer, David took on the task of coaching Gretchen. Despite a 7-year age gap, his popularity soared at work. Women from far and wide flocked to his workouts to catch a glimpse of the young, muscular trainer. Some even credited him with the fitness club's success. David's charm and charisma were undeniable, effortlessly captivating others with his words and demeanor. Gretchen quickly fell under his spell, and their budding romance didn't go unnoticed by friends and colleagues at the fitness club. Their relationship blossomed rapidly, culminating in a spontaneous Las Vegas wedding in 2015, mere months after they started dating. Initially, their union appeared promising, with the couple enjoying a blissful period together. David seamlessly embraced his role as a stepfather to Gretchen's daughter, who affectionately regarded him as her father figure. However, by 2019, 4 years into their marriage, the couple faced a significant crisis. David's erratic behavior led to him moving out of their bright and beautiful home to stay with his mother. The root of their marital woes stemmed from David's unstable mental state. Although his parents suspected he might have bipolar disorder, no official diagnosis had been made. Gretchen found her husband's condition deeply troubling. At times, David spoke of apocalyptic scenarios and began hoarding food and supplies in his car. Alarmed by his behavior, Gretchen took to sleeping with a knife under her pillow and installed cameras to monitor David's movements around the house. On Christmas Day 2019, David took drastic action, believing he was safeguarding Gretchen's belongings for the impending apocalypse by storing them in his car. This incident prompted Gretchen to realize that her safety was at risk, leading her to conclude that their relationship had reached its breaking point. Despite David's denial of any mental health issues and refusal to seek professional help, Gretchen pressed on with her daily responsibilities of work, caring for her daughter, and attending the fitness club where their relationship had initially blossomed. In February 2020, she made the difficult decision to file for divorce, recognizing that their marriage had run its course. Despite the separation, David persisted in visiting Gretchen's home, unwilling to let go of his connection with his wife. Around the same time as the initial surge of the coronavirus pandemic, nations globally enacted measures to curb its spread. These measures entailed the closure of public spaces, flight cancellations, and the enforcement of home confinement protocols. Finding herself in self-isolation, Gretchen occupied her time quietly, enjoying soap operas and moments of relaxation. Initially, she held the notion that isolation would be brief, even poking fun on her Facebook page about the frenzy surrounding toilet paper purchases at the pandemic's onset. Her last social media post, dated March 19th, featured a profound quote she chose to highlight. "Amidst chaos, cultivating inner peace is the wisest course." Your inner calm extends outward, fostering the emergence of a new harmony. On the morning of Monday, March 23rd, Gretchen was anticipated to resume her work schedule. However, she didn't arrive at the office without giving any prior notice, which was highly out of character for her. Concern quickly rippled through her colleagues as the day progressed with no sign of her. Gretchen's absence remained a baffling mystery. Over the following days, Gretchen's coworkers, her supervisor, and some friends received emails and text messages supposedly sent from Gretchen's accounts and phone number. Among these messages, her coworkers received an email from Gretchen's work email address, outlining her recent health issues. She mentioned having a mild fever over the weekend and waking up with shortness of breath on the morning of March 23rd. As the suspicious messages circulated among Gretchen's colleagues, she claimed to have arranged a COVID-19 test at the hospital. Concern grew as these messages suggested a diagnosis of acute coronavirus and her subsequent quarantine at Jupiter Medical Center. Doubts arose regarding the legitimacy of these communications. The situation intensified when further messages indicated Gretchen's transfer to the custody of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, followed by her alleged relocation to a facility in Belglade. Noting the inconsistency in tone and content compared to Gretchen's usual communication style, her colleagues became increasingly alarmed. They reached out to Gretchen's mother to inquire about her well-being and whereabouts. Simultaneously, Gretchen's boss requested a wellness check from the police. Upon visiting Gretchen's residence in response to the wellness check, authorities discovered she was not there. Subsequent inquiries made to Jupiter Medical Center failed to find any patient matching Gretchen's description. Similarly, investigations into the alleged facility in Belglade turned up empty. Police investigations revealed that Gretchen's phone had registered activity from a tower in Pensacola on March 25, followed by another ping from a tower in Texas a few days later. These discoveries only deepened the mystery surrounding Gretchen's whereabouts and the authenticity of the messages received by her colleagues. Authorities reached out to David, who suggested that Gretchen was undergoing treatment for COVID-19. He also proposed a potential motive for her disappearance, mentioning her discovery of tax fraud at her workplace. David alleged that Gretchen had reported the fraud and feared potential repercussions as a whistleblower, anticipating confrontation at home. However, police investigation revealed inaccuracies in David's claims. Subsequent inquiry confirmed that someone had indeed visited Gretchen's residence, albeit for different reasons. Consequently, law enforcement obtained a search warrant for Gretchen's home. According to neighbors, on March 21st, they heard alarming screams and cries of distress from Gretchen's patio or garage, prompting them to contact authorities. The following day, they detected an unusual odor resembling a mixture of water and chemicals emanating from Gretchen's garage. During the search, police discovered significant bleach stains in the garage, along with blood splatters throughout the house, notably on the master bedroom wall. Furthermore, blood-stained towels were found inside the washing machine, raising further suspicion. Gretchen had a sophisticated doorbell camera installed at her front entrance, and authorities scrutinized the recording from March 21st at 6:15 a.m. The video displayed a tall individual standing within the screened porch area. When Gretchen opened the door and stepped outside, the camera captured a voice exclaiming, "What's going on?" Additional footage obtained by law enforcement from inside Gretchen's home depicted an individual lying near a water jug in the garage, which showed apparent blood stains. The same tall person observed in the porch footage was captured in this video, reaching for the garage camera with a gloved hand and disabling it. A witness positively identified this tall individual as David Anthony, who stands at a height of 6 feet 7 inches. Surveillance footage from a neighbor's outdoor security camera documented a vehicle resembling David's car leaving Gretchen's residence on March 21st. Acting on this lead, the police located David in New Mexico and apprehended him on March 31st. They also seized his vehicle, identified as a 2016 black Nissan Frontier pickup truck, after a cadaver dog indicated the presence of decomposition. Moreover, within Gretchen's residence, another cadaver dog trained to detect decomposition signaled to its handler potential evidence. Law enforcement interviewed David as a suspect, suspecting him of being the individual who visited Gretchen's home on March 21st. Despite their efforts, they were unable to locate Gretchen, leading them to suspect foul play and consider David as the primary suspect in her presumed murder. As the investigation advanced, police accumulated incriminating evidence against David. They discovered that at the same time Gretchen's phone was tracked in Pensacola, David was also present in the city. Surveillance footage captured him attempting to pawn some of Gretchen's jewelry at a pawn shop. Additionally, authorities uncovered further evidence linking David to Gretchen's disappearance. Following a thorough investigation into David's activities between March 21st, when Gretchen vanished, and March 31st, the day of his arrest, authorities uncovered compelling evidence. They discovered that when Gretchen's phone pinged in Texas, David's phone also connected to the same tower at that time. Surveillance footage depicted David parking his truck at Jupiter Medical Center on March 23, and the next day, he was seen parking Gretchen's Mini Cooper at the same location. Upon examining Gretchen's vehicle, law enforcement detected blood on the steering wheel and gearshift, intensifying suspicions against David. Consequently, he was extradited to Florida and formally charged with murder and kidnapping related to Gretchen's disappearance. Despite the charges, authorities remained uncertain about Gretchen's whereabouts and the circumstances of her demise. They suspected David of various actions, such as sending emails from Gretchen's work account to her colleagues and disseminating misleading text messages to her contacts regarding a purported hospital transfer. Despite law enforcement's confidence in their gathered evidence to secure David's conviction at trial, the unresolved mystery surrounding Gretchen's fate left her family longing for closure. In a quest to unravel the truth and provide Gretchen with a proper farewell, authorities offered David a plea bargain. Under the terms, David could admit guilt to the lesser charges of second-degree murder and kidnapping. In return, he would be required to divulge the whereabouts of Gretchen's remains. Opting for the plea bargain, David acknowledged his guilt, understanding that the second-degree murder charge carried a maximum sentence of life imprisonment, contrasting with the potential death penalty he could face for first-degree murder. Shortly thereafter, David disclosed to the authorities the location where Gretchen's body could be found. Authorities located Gretchen's remains in a wooded area near the junction of Bush Road and Indian Town Road, roughly 3 miles from her residence. As part of the plea deal, prosecutors were bound by the condition not to retract the plea or pursue further charges based on autopsy findings or any additional evidence uncovered. At David's sentencing, he received a 38-year prison term, with credit for the 295 days already spent in custody. The court proceedings illuminated the events leading to Gretchen's tragic demise. A co-worker of David testified that in early 2020, they noticed David exhibiting mood swings, prompting them to advise Gretchen to keep her distance. Reflecting on this, the co-worker expressed remorse, stating, "I did caution Gretchen about his behavior, urging her to stay away. It weighs on me every day." Furthermore, it came to light that just 1 week prior to Gretchen's disappearance, on March 15 at 10:30 p.m., David was arrested. He faced charges of resisting an officer with violence after authorities responded to reports of his unusual behavior at an outdoor plaza in Riviera Beach, Florida. Witnesses observed him exhibiting signs of distress, including sweating, pacing, and allegedly approaching teenage girls. When approached by an officer for questioning, David's license plate, covered with black electrical tape to change a 6 to an 8, raised suspicions. David claimed his stepdaughter was responsible for the alteration, suggesting she enjoyed playing with tape. However, when David leaned into his truck to retrieve his license, the officer perceived a potential threat, leading him to draw his weapon and instruct David to exit the vehicle and lie on the ground. When another officer attempted to detain David, he forcefully slammed the door, striking the officer's arm. Concerned that David might be reaching for a concealed object, the officer urgently shouted commands. "Get out! No, get out! I've got him at gunpoint, get out of the car!" Once you've got your hands up, drop whatever you're holding. After David complied and was on the ground, he was subsequently arrested. During the sentencing hearing concerning Gretchen's death, Sarah Carey, Gretchen's sister, directly addressed David, expressing her profound condemnation. "You are pure evil. You've robbed a mother of her child, a daughter of her mother. You are a monster. You are a coward." In response, David also addressed the court, reflecting on Gretchen's character and the impact of his actions. He acknowledged Gretchen's positive influence, describing her as a beacon of light in a dark world. However, he also admitted his own shortcomings, recognizing his cowardice and the irreversible consequences of his choices. "Instead of being brave, I chose to be a coward. I cannot bring her back. I cannot undo this. I've caused irreparable harm to the lives of those who loved me. I acknowledge my addiction to and abuse of medicinal-grade marijuana, coupled with untreated mental health issues, which only exacerbated the chain of tragic events," David revealed during the court proceedings. It was disclosed that David had long grappled with bipolar disorder and was embroiled in inner turmoil. He expressed to the court that Gretchen had endeavored to lift him out of his dark mental state, showing him the beauty and marvels of life. However, David explained that with the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic, his distorted perceptions interpreted it as an apocalyptic event. Following the sentencing hearing, the Palm Beach County State Attorney commented on the outcome, stating, "It's never ideal for someone who commits a crime like this to receive anything less than a life sentence. However, this decision was made to provide closure for the family." Despite the legal proceedings, authorities have chosen not to divulge the specifics of how Gretchen Anthony met her demise. Your active participation in today's narrative is greatly appreciated. We eagerly await your commentary on this intriguing case in the comments section below. Stay updated on our daily uploads by subscribing to the channel and activating notifications. Take care of yourself and your dear ones. Until next time, goodbye.